Good?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. What did you say to your squad today?
I saw some good and some bad. I saw, I think if you're a fan and I was kind of more of a fan today just in terms of I didn't know what to expect. So I saw some good and I saw some bad, and it's thank goodness it's November and we've got a lot of things to fix.
Sam Colbray got bent. Looked like he got caught. His legs got turned. What did you see from his match, and how much do you think that impacted your team going forward?
I don't know if it impacted. I mean, obviously we had some really good things happen right after that. I mean, our 25-pounder's basically a walk-on. Was a club wrestler last year, and I thought he fought real good after that match. Harrington came out and majored. Parker wrestled his butt off and beat their best guy, and Storr looked great. So obviously I just think that there's some places where we're exciting and we're good, and there's other places that we got to step up or find another guy.
Is Colbray's spot in jeopardy then if you're saying you got to find another guy?
I don't think so. I mean, I think there's good things to be seen. It's the first match of the year. I'm not, to me, everything last week and this week was an evaluation. I know Sam Colbray's got a lot of ability. You get in a situation like that and you get in a really tight hold. If you get in a really tight hold and you're in the tight hold, it's hard to get out of it. What you've got to do is you've got to recognize that hold's going to get real tight. And so it's like a 1001 to get the heck out of there, and you got to react. So you can complain afterwards and say, wow, I got caught in a hole and got pinned, or you could have fought out of there. And so that's on him. You got to recognize the situation that you got a 1001 window to get out of that hole, and if you dumb off for a second, look what happens.
You've mentioned it a little bit, but Kaden Storrike had 9 takedowns in the match. What did you see out of him?
He's fun to watch, isn't he? I mean, he's a guy that's got high energy, and you look at Parker and Storr and Parker. You hear those guys interchangeably. They're almost like first name, last name. Those guys get it pretty much year-round in the practice room in terms of their approach to the sport of wrestling, and they're no shortcut kind of guys. And I say that knowing they're going to have some bumps this year. I mean, if everybody knew the sacrifices Ian Parker's made to be the 133-pounder when he's really the 141-pounder, to go out there in a 1-hour weigh-in and wrestle a guy that's had a lot of success and's had 3 or 4 weigh-ins under his belt, that was a pretty impressive win, and he came off the mat and said, I felt terrible the whole time. And so that's just him getting used to the weight. So if you can go out and feel terrible and just dig deep and get it, that's what's going to make you great someday. And so I'm excited about those two guys.
You mentioned Jacob's performance at 125. What does kind of a scrappy performance like that kind of do for the team?
Well, hopefully some of the other guys watch and appreciate his effort. Coach Sadik, I just got done talking to the team. Coach Sadik just got done talking to the team, and he called him out specifically as well and said, I've got no problem with the way you come. Just keep coming to practice, just keep getting better, and we'll see how good you can get. But, that match, I've seen that kid from Drexel wrestle in high school a lot. He's really tough on top. I mean, that could have went tech fall the first period real easy, and that just shows you what fight will do. And if we would have had some of that fight in other places, I would be undefeated in my coaching career instead of 0-1.
Now that you kind of seen some of these wrestlers, what's kind of the plan for the week, and how are you going to kind of change things up?
Well, I just told them, it's really how you come back tomorrow, and how you respond to losing, how you respond to adversity. And so we've had our first adversity. My honeymoon's over, all right? All the buzz and the hoopla's over, so let's go to work. And not that we haven't been going to work, but certain guys kind of go to work, and then we got some guys that really go to work. And so we can get everybody going to work. We're going to get this thing turned around. How far we're going to get it turned around, I don't know, but we're going to get it turned around.
At the beginning, you mentioned that there was some good and some bad. Last week, you also mentioned some ugly. What have you seen from your wrestlers, I guess? Have guys started to buy in and change their practice habits?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're seeing that in practice. It's it's a process that's got to get some consistency to it, and so like a 197, we're not consistent in practice. So you got to be consistent in practice. 65 just today, he's been banged up, and we really only got 1 week of training under Logan, so we didn't have anybody else there. I mean, St. John got hurt last week, and so you know, we kind of had to go. And so, you know, he went out there, and obviously it showed that he only had 1 week of training because he didn't have much there. And 57, I don't know what happened because he's usually pretty dependable. That was a big surprise to me. 49, you know, I don't know. He's that was a match that I felt I could have went either way, and we just weren't very good there. So I don't know if we're very good there or not. If we want to be very good, I felt like he had an opportunity to win a match in front of a good crowd, a good home crowd, and he didn't go siege it. He should have went after it.
Talk about the home crowd. What was the atmosphere like without the curtain?
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was good, you know. So I think the fans did, and you know, we got to keep bringing them in. And you know, once our product's better, and I think guys like I know the Iowa State wrestling fan base. If you can get a couple guys that really get it done and get everybody excited, it's worth the trip to Hilton Coliseum. So you know, I feel like we've got some guys right now that are worth the trip. I mean, I think if you watch Marcus Harrington wrestle today. Hopefully he's an improved product than what he was last year. You guys can tell me, I don't know. Obviously Storm Parker, fun to watch wrestle. Pistano, I mean, I think, wow. I mean, that was a great way to start the match out. I mean, I thought Dane Pistano did a great job. He put up a lot of points. He went and got the major at the end, and that's what we preach, is separating yourself.
Are you more of like a traditional coach where you start at 125 and go down, or did you choose to start at 84 and start with Dane today?
Actually, Coach Zadig, you know, kind of had that strategy. It was a good strategy. You know, we just didn't want to throw a walk-on freshman out there in the first match, and we wanted to draw and roll the dice a little bit, see if we could get a big win to get things going. So it worked. We just forgot to wrestle after the break. So that's what happened.
Any more questions, guys?
Yes, sir.
I can just ask it. Next up on the schedule, it looks like, is the Lindenwood Open. Will you guys be sending your full varsity down there to compete?
Hopefully we'll be sending everybody that can wrestle. Okay, and that's the plan, is to send everybody that can compete. So you know, obviously there's some spots up for grabs. So we need to see, you know, this would be a great environment just to see what shakes to the top this week.
That include Austin Gomez and Marcus Coleman.
Gomez isn't ready to go yet. He's not cleared. He could be cleared in a week or two, so he won't wrestle for sure. Who's the other one?
Coleman.
Coleman, yeah. No, we're gonna keep Coleman redshirted. I mean, he would have won that dual meet for us.
Yeah.
So that's hard to watch, but you know, you got to do what's best for the kid. He's special. He's going to be really good, but we got to develop him. So he would have won that. He would have won that match.
Any comments on the guys that wrestled yesterday at the Grandview Open?
You know, I thought good for Marcus Simmons. I told him in the locker room, I pointed him out because our guys that didn't do very well, and you know, after a loss, I'm curious to see. I always learn a lot more about individuals when we lose and when we win, because are they going to come back? How are they going to come back? What's their body language going to be come back? What's their attitude? What's their work ethic going to be on Monday and Tuesday? And Marcus Simmons had a bad Cyclone Open, and he came back and won yesterday. And more than anything, I told him, I said, I think he kind of wimped out. I didn't tell him that until just a little bit ago after he won, but I said, I think he kind of wimped out. I used a stronger word than that, but I said, I think he kind of wimped out against at the Cyclone Open because he got beat, and then I think he defaulted his last match and he hurt his knee, and I figured for sure he'd been tanking it on Monday and Tuesday in practice and looking for sympathy, but no, he had to go through some rehab and he was hurting a little bit, taped it up, and he went all week long, and he got better each week. So to me, not so much that Marcus Simmons won the tournament because I know he can wrestle. That's what this team needs to see, is when things don't go your way and your knee hurts tomorrow, and your knee might hurt more because you lost. When your knee hurts, you got to get going, and you got to make the most of it. And I felt like he had a really productive week, you know, and he didn't feel like coming in there Monday. I can tell you he didn't want to be at practice Monday, but he was there, he was ready to go. And so that's what we have to do in 5 or 6 weight classes, you know, tomorrow.
All right, thanks guys.
Thanks
Yep.
so much.
I'm going to grab Kanan Sorting Parker for you guys.